Hey guys, and welcome back to another one of my videos. In today's video I decided to finally, after 100 promises of doing so, drop my reactions and views on some of your own unpopular opinions. I got these opinions from my Google form, which of course is still open and therefore you can still submit your own opinions, and also from Reddit, but since someone attacked me on there for just asking for some opinions, after only 2 hours of being on the platform, I most likely won't go back on there, since I don't care about clowns. But anyways, since I got quite a few opinions, I decided to split this into 2 parts. So, stay tuned for part 2 of me responding to your opinions. And with that being said, let's start with the actual video. Opinion 1. I don't think that GOT7 should have been nominated for Artist of the Year or Best Male Group, 2020, and Stray Kids should have. I say that as a casual listener of both groups. I don't prefer one over the other, and no hate to GOT7, they have some bangers and I like the members a lot, but I think that 2020 was not their year. I do kind of agree with this. First of all, this is no hate against GOT7, but compared to Stray Kids, their songs, and the huge amount of spotlight they get, GOT7 just can't really hold up with them. I also agree that 2020 wasn't really the year of GOT7. I barely heard from them, and if I did, it was mostly Jackson. To be honest, I was surprised myself, when I saw GOT7 on the list of nominees, but no Stray Kids. Like what? You gonna nominate Natty and Signature, which are quite new and don't have a huge fanbase yet, but no Stray Kids? One of the more successful newer boy groups? Seems kinda weird to me, but Mama is a snake anyways. Opinion 2. Again, on the awards, I don't think that Dynamite should have been nominated for the Performance Award. If a BTS song deserves that, it's Black Swan. Oh my god. I do agree with this so much. Like, don't get me wrong, but why isn't Black Swan or On nominated? I mean, the Dynamite choreography is cute and fresh, but not as powerful and intriguing as both the choreographies of Black Swan and On are. In general, Dynamite getting nominated like everywhere, meanwhile On and Black Swan not being anywhere, do quite bother me. Why not put a Korean song, by a Korean boy group as a nominee for a Korean award show? I personally just don't get it. As I already said, I do like Dynamite a lot, but something about it being nominated instead of the other songs just bothers me way too much. Opinion 3. If companies can't utilize positions properly, then they shouldn't have them at all. I do agree so much with this. So first of all, I know that some members, as the group evolves and grows, do get better in certain aspects, so adjusting the positions once in a while, would, in my opinion, actually be one of the best solutions. But besides that, if a rookie groups with fixed positions suddenly makes their main rapper sing instead of rapping, it actually does confuse me a lot, especially if this happens in more than one comeback. Speaking about positions, I also don't think that every group needs a rapper. If the groups are more vocal orientated and only occasionally have some rap parts which fit the song, I'd be totally fine if a non-rapper would do them. I think the issue with fixed positions mostly is that they are literally forced to put, for example, a rap part in songs, which do not really fit them, just because they have an assigned rapper. Opinion 4. As much as I love Stray Kids, I think TXT will get bigger than them in the future. So, I'm not really that invested in boy groups. Besides BTS, I'm into them girlies, and since I don't really know much about the whole comparison thing that apparently goes on between Stray Kids, TXT, and as far as I know also between them and ATEEZ, but as a casual listener of both groups, I actually think that you can't really compare them. I mean, comparing groups is in general a stupid thing to do, but they both seem like so different from each other concept-wise. Like yet, maybe they do have some similarities between their messages, but again they express them in such different ways, that you're just not able to say one will be more successful than the other. And even though TXT might get bigger, I do not think that Stray Kids will be far behind, and also the other way around, unless someone pulls a BTS, but anyways. I think they will be like Red Velvet and Twice. Just chilling as two of the main groups. Opinion 5. I personally wouldn't be happy if BTS got a Grammy nomination for Dynamite just because it is an English single. Like, come on, all their Korean songs are Grammy nomination worthy, but if Dynamite gets nominated it will be weird, like their originality won't be showcased or anything. Like, yeah, it would be nice for being nominated, but I show dissatisfaction as an ARMY. I would be a lot happier if they were recognized by Grammys for their meaningful and Korean authentic songs. Well, they got the nomination. I again do agree, partly. I as an ARMY also am a little bit sad, that BTS literally had to put an English single out, to get the recognition they literally deserved, but at the same time it just kinda showed us and proved to us how xenophobic the Western music market actually is. I personally also would have loved, if a Korean song like On or Black Swan would have been nominated, but this obviously does not mean that they can't get that in the future. To be honest, I thought about it a lot, but after seeing the boys happy like that, I just kinda forgot my worries. As long as they're happy with it, we should be happy too, and just work harder as a fandom to get on the next level. Opinion 6. Some dumb people call Blackpink talentless, like WTF. Just because they haven't shown their music making skills doesn't mean they are talentless. Teddy clearly said in Light Up the Sky that before they had a different approach, like they were focused on catchy tunes, whereas now they want to put out meaningful stuff, so people should stop. People literally criticize them for breathing. What's wrong with those idiots? Also stop criticizing their beats, cause that's their uniqueness. They never said they were gonna be a vocal-oriented group, and why ask for a concept change if you will end up criticizing cute concepts? Even though them having similar structures and stuff bothered me a lot in the past, this is no reason to hate on the girls, like in general. Just because you don't like a group, please don't hate on them. I actually have to say, that I accepted How You Like That more after Lovesick Girls came out. Like, Lovesick Girls was such a serve for me and brought some fresh air, which satisfied me a lot. Nonetheless, a group not putting meaningful stuff out is okay as well. I mean, meaningful lyrics are definitely a bonus point, but there are times where you just want to have fun and bing bada boom boom boom, and that's okay. If you prefer that kind of music, go on and listen to it. And the cute concept aspect is so true. Blackpink literally gets hate for having a girl crush concept, which they literally revived, and which is the thing many costumers in the K-market currently crave for. Why would they change it if this concept made them popular? Like, I also wouldn't want Twice going full on girl crush, because some groups are just known for a certain concept and also can only expand it to a certain level. If you don't like them, stop listening, like for example I did. This obviously doesn't mean that you're not allowed to express your opinion, but please be respectful while doing so, for fuck's sake. Opinion 7. Companies need to learn cultural appropriation. Like, sorry, but some /IDLE and Mamamoo acts are not acceptable. Not shading them, but they're companies. Obviously, cultural appropriation is a big deal in the industry. Even though I'm not in a place in which I can judge whether CA happened or not, I do definitely agree that Mamamoo and /IDLE should be held accountable for their actions, since many people of the appropriated cultures got offended. But as far as I know, Mamamoo apologized and hopefully understood that their actions were wrong. I think /IDLE didn't talk about it, but I'm not sure. Besides that, I really like the fact that you mentioned their companies. Obviously, if a person wants to become an idol and also be pushed in the Western market, the idol itself and also the company should look into this kind of topic. And I know many people think that Korean people are just ignorant about the whole topic and also racist, but I saw an interesting video from DKDK TV in which they talked to university students about the whole topic, and they literally had to compare it to the rising sun flag in order to make it understandable. I think most Koreans just need to be educated on this topic instead of being hated on, which sadly seems to be the reality of handling this kind of situations in most cases. And again, white people or people who don't belong to the appropriated culture are not in a place to judge them, but I think we should rather support our friends from the appropriated culture to get their point across. Opinion 8. Dynamite Bigger Life Goes On. This may or may not be unpopular, but Dynamite was and still is a bop. Then Life Goes On feels like they tried to make Coffee Part 2 or Stay Gold Part 2. Overall, Life Goes On is just a boring song. This opinion might change in the future, but for now it's all true. I am back. I still think Dynamite is more of a bop, but after listening to Life Goes On a few more times the chorus has grown on me, but for the rest of the song my opinion hasn't changed. So again, I do agree partly. If you saw my reviewing Life Goes On by BTS video, you most likely know that I'm not the biggest fan of more slow-paced and emotional songs, so I do prefer Dynamite over Life Goes On, just because I wouldn't listen to Life Goes On a daily basis. I have to disagree with you about the whole Coffee PT2 and Stay Gold Point 2 aspect though. I mean, yeah, they are all slower songs, but this is in my opinion one of the only things that they have in common. I never thought of Life Goes On as a replica of the songs you mentioned, but of course this is just how I feel. The reason why many ARMYs might be sad about Life Goes On is most likely the fact that it is not the most title track worthy song, but it matches the time we're in now, and I'm sure that they'll have some more hype songs in the future again. BTS is so versatile that I honestly don't worry about me not liking a comeback that much once in a while. Opinion 9. This may not be unpopular, but for fuck's sake please stop with the I couldn't understand what they were saying. Sad struggles of an international fan, I guess. Haha, please speak English. Yeah, idol, we need subtitles. Learn Korean. It is not an idol's job to speak English, nor is the company obligated to put in English subtitles. They are Korean, making Korean music. You came to them, learn their language. I just don't understand how people's mind warp to think that the idols should be learning their language when it's really the other way around, like you're saying these people are your role models but you've never even thought of looking up the Korean alphabet, learning about their culture, some basic phrases. It's lazy, especially in 2020 when you have internet access. Even though I do agree that comments like this are quite annoying, I do find it disrespectful that you assume that everyone is able to learn a language easily. In my case, I'd have to drive at least 1 hour to get to a Korean teacher, while being a student with a lot of schoolwork. Besides that, a lot of the good Korean teaching guides and stuff are mostly in English, which just isn't my native language and which I therefore do not want to use. How would I learn a whole new language in a language I don't know as well either? Also, as I said, I'd have to drive for a long amount of time in order to go to classes in which I'd get a good teacher, who is able to correct both my pronunciation and grammar skills. I think that I do not only speak for me, but in my case, I'd be never ever able to teach myself a whole new language correctly in a way that I can actually understand and speak to natives. Besides that, if a company wants to push a group in the Western market, they definitely should make things easier for non-Korean fans to understand their idols. Opinion 10. BTS's song quality has dropped, yes, but that is only because of what they think their newer audience will like. 2015 to 2017 were their best eras ever, like from HYYH to YNWA era, and B's quality just proves they have it in them to produce more like those. I personally wouldn't necessarily say that their song quality dropped, but that a lot of older ARMYs weren't able to grow with them and their music style as much. So, for me their latest title tracks were not as much it as the ones before, but I still do enjoy many of their newer side tracks. In general, I'm convinced that you don't need to love every single comeback of your faves, especially when the said group or artists loves to change things up and try new things out. I also think that both On and Life Goes On hold a lot of meaning and emotion, as well as Black Swan. For example, I do prefer Map of the Soul 7 much more than B, which you claim shows that they still are able to produce good songs. In the end, everything comes down to personal preference, and yet 2015 to 2017 were great eras, but I guess you were different as a person in that time as well. Everyone matures and develops as time goes by, and obviously BTS also did. I think we just should trust them, and I'm pretty sure that sooner or later another banger for my preference in music will come out again. And this, my friends, is already the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed me reacting to some of your unpopular opinions, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also stay tuned for part 2 of this series. If you want to be featured on one of these videos of mine, feel free to submit your opinions per Google form in my description. Also feel free to share your own thoughts on these opinions as well, and see you next week. Bye.